All right, good morning, people. The first thing I kind of want to do is I want to take one of these DRCT trades right before open here. So I kind of want to go DRCT. I want to get in right around this VWAP line here at 360, 364. We're gonna head for at least 380, and then we're probably gonna go with a three. We'll go with a 354 stop. So we're gonna give it 10 cents below where it is. Just gonna jump in when we get close to that number. So we're gonna go with a 354 stop. We're just hoping this holds on open with the current trajectory here. Looks like we bounced down to about 370 and then back up. So that was pretty close, a couple cents off, obviously. I think there's a lot of room for DRTC or DRCT here to take off, so we want to make sure we're in on that. VCSA is not looking too great. The volume's been looking pretty spotty. Price action not really going anywhere either. But we'll keep an eye on it. CLSK was looking good earlier when I was charting. However, it has currently dropped pretty dramatically and lost a lot of its volume. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. For some reason, the MACD is not here on any of these, so that's kind of troubling. Let's see here. What if we go reset chart? There we go. Guess I'll just have to do that for all of these. Oh, it's not even working here. Come on. Okay, not sure what I did there. Okay, we're gonna close down this. All right, so we'll have to go back and take a look at what we're missing now, but that's okay. So we did drop down all the way to 370. Let's see here. We need some of these to start working. Okay, we'll open up a new one. Okay, that fixed it. So this one's going to be CLSK. Running into some technical problems here, as always. Veru also doing it, so we'll open up a new one. Go Veru again. Close out the old Veru. QNCX. Open up a new Zella. And then we'll just leave this be for now. All right, so the market is opening. DRCT is looking okay. We have hit that 380 level a couple times now, so we can go ahead and take some profits there. That's DRCT and taking some profits. And then we'll see what happens after that. Because 10 cents is not a lot. We've got VCSA here looking like it is taking off, breaking through that high. We do have a lot of room. We could head up here. The earlier pre-market suggests that anyway, so we'll have to see. All right, we're getting into more issues. Let's take that off. Bet you, yeah, I bet you it's gonna go on all of them. That's okay. Just take them off. But DRCT down to 360 currently did hit our stop on that runner. So we're going to let that one go. It's going to bug me if this is on every single one all day. So we're going to have to just go ahead and take them all off right now. Yeah, we'll take it off this one too, because we will use this spot for something here. We have Zella here dropping down to that VWAP line. I think this could be an opportunity to take that trade. I kind of want to say we might actually do it, but we did drop below that 200 EMA, or below that VWAP, and we did drop below the support area, so we do have a long ways down. We might just have to jump into this because it's going to continue running. We're going to go VCSA. We're going to go for a 420 entry if we can. We're going to aim for 450, and then just a 4... Let's give it a 410 stop. We're just going to give it 10 cents. Again, this is one of those things where if we need a lot of room, we might as well not really be in the trade. All right, CSA. Whoa, that was don't know what I typed in there. There we go. All right, VCSA is looking okay. We have DRCT really dropping here. It's hitting the support line. I think this is a possible bounce area, so we're going to go DRCT again here, 340-ish. We're going to go for 360 and then a 330 stop. So we're going to give it only 10 cents. We don't need to give it more than that. Even 330 is quite a bit of room. I think if it drops below this this level here, we'll probably cut it. But it looks to me like it should move back up, so we'll see. CLSK heading down. We have VCSA all the way down to stop. We made it to 430. That's it. And then we're dropping back down. So we're going to be taking probably a pretty quick stop out on that. DRCT almost at 350. We have Veru. Nice candle here. This is a very well formed candle. Very full. That MACD is pointing, or the VWAP is pointing up. Keep calling it MACD today. We're going to jump in on Veru. I don't think 1450 is in the cards, but maybe around 14 would be. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd say 14 is good. We're going to go for 1550 at least, and then we're going to go for a 1350 stop. So we're going to give it about 50 cents, which should give us at least a little bit of playroom here. QNCK or QNCX not really doing anything. Zella's not really doing much either. ARHS is looking like it's on the top of the list here, but you know what? The pre-market wasn't looking great. The opening isn't looking great, so we're probably going to skip over this one. We have FPay we can take a look at. FPay bounced off that 200 EMA very nicely. It might be something worth playing. The range is okay on it. It's definitely worth watching anyway. Oh, sorry, I missed your question. It was pre-market. Buying it in pre-market. VCSA continues on its way down, and we have DRCT. It did drop quite a bit, missed it up quite a bit again. We don't need this line here anymore. Does look half decent still, but it did dip pretty far down, which is kind of worrisome. And then we have Veru here almost at $15. It's looking like it's going to continue. 1511. We're aiming for about 1550 here, but I'm not really sure we're going to quite get 1550. We could take some profits around 1530. At least if I did that, I'd be getting close to a whole dollar in profits. We weren't quite there yet, so I'm going to hold off a little bit longer and hope we can take off a little bit more. Although on the same note, I don't really want to be too greedy because we are well past that band. I think I'm going to take some profits here. Taking some profits on Veru. 15-ish. Okay. DRCT still struggling, but looking okay so far. We're seeing these wicks in either direction, but we're at 350 currently from a 340 entry. So not looking too bad. VCSA looks like it is going to bounce here. Those are some really nice looking candles. I do want to try a VCSA trade off this. We'd be looking at probably a 390-ish entry. We're going to go for about 430 off of it. 430, that's quite a bit. We'll go 420. And then we'll go for a 380 stop. 390 brings us down to here. 380 brings us down to there. That's what we want. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. VCSA. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. DRCT back up a little bit here. CLSK not doing a whole lot. Veru up at that 1550 mark, so that is in fact PT. You can take some more profits here if you want to, or you can let it run a little longer. Zella's heading down, QNCX is heading down, and FPay just took off there, going from basically $1.30 to $1.50. Can't tell if it's halted or not. Might have to just give it a minute here. Yeah, I'm going to believe that would be halted. Veru going past PT now a little bit. Yeah, FPay's looking good. Yeah, A little bit extra profit here. We went to 1570 here on Veru. I do think it's probably going to go higher. You can wait a little longer to take profits if you really want to. Just make sure you're securing some on the way up. And then we'll obviously close out that trade whenever we feel like it's a healthy alternative. Going to be jumping into VCSA here. I was waiting for that 390 entry. It looks like I'm getting a little bit better than that. I do not want to move that stop loss, though. I'm going to keep that stop loss the same. I really don't think this should break down from the 200 EMA, and if it does, I really don't want to be in it. So, you know what? I'm totally fine with this. I'm totally fine with getting a better entry and leaving the same stop. DRCT did drop down. Looks like it just touched that 3-3 area, 330, but it didn't stop me out again. I think it's my IBKR settings or something. We'll have to see. Keep forgetting to check that too. Veru takes off. We're up to 1640 here. Gonna secure some profits. All right, secure them at 1660-ish. And we're up at 1680. Quite the trade here. Let's go ahead and see what the P&L on this is at. About 17% so far. Okay. FPay is back to being down a little bit here. Can't tell. There's no way this unhalted and then halted again right in the middle here. This has got to be just like a lack of volume or something. Or lack of price action, maybe. Veru's halted. VCSA is bouncing off of this support area very nicely so far. DRCT back up to about that 350 area. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I secure at least a little bit at the 350 area. Taking some profits. DRCT 350. Not a lot of profits, obviously, but this one's kind of worrying me, so I'll take what I can get. This one kind of worries me as well, but it does look like it had a nice bounce off that 200, so MTTR we can take a look at, yeah. MTTR is looking pretty good here, 620 all the way up to 680. The range is not bad, definitely playable. I think it is up too high unless it's going to just continue its run, which we'll have to wait and confirm. FPay looks like another one that I do kind of want to jump into because it does look like it's making good gains. However, even with a decent amount of volume, we're not seeing a lot of price action. So it's kind of hard to decide if we want to actually jump in on that or not. VCSA is still looking okay. DRCT back down a little bit here. CLSK is not really doing a whole lot, but we did just dip past that 200, so maybe we come back from here. We will see. VCSA 390. We got VZIO we could take a look at as well. Let's just get rid of this one because this one doesn't look good at all. VZIO, Vizio. Nope, nothing there. We got REAX. Okay, so the range is definitely good here. Got about 30 cents range on a $2 stock, but the price action again is not looking very good and the volume is not looking very good. So I think we're just going to skip over this one. DRCT heading back down. VCSA is looking like it is recovering here. We could potentially hit our PT fairly quickly if we would see some half decent candles. We're going to need quite a bit of movement here. MTTR continues to hit that high. Looks like it's breaking to a new high there. Zella not doing anything, Reax not doing anything, Veru halted, so we want to make sure we keep an eye on Veru and DRCT, VCSA. Kind of want to keep an eye on this MTTR as well because it is breaking into new high after new high. They're not like super profitable new highs though or anything, so I'm not too keen on jumping in right away. So we're gonna have to wait on that. Hey, way to go, man. quick money. Look at that. That was like a whole day's work at minimum wage. Made that in 12 minutes. Am I in VCSA? Yes. Can you imagine if he made $100 every 12 minutes at work? That'd be insane. I might even have a full-time job then. We have got Vero here at 8 or 1680. Should be unhalting here pretty quick. I'd be retired. Yeah, no kidding. MTTR hitting that $7 area. Maybe MTTR is going to just keep running, so maybe we try and take a play on this, but it is going to be risky. So we'll go MTTR. I'm hoping for about 690. We're going to go for about 750 on it, and then a 6. Give it a 675. We'll call it a risky play. We did hit pretty low there. We got down to 688. I'm sure there's going to be better opportunities to jump in. Just have to be a little patient. 687 there. Not bad. FPay still not really moving. BCSA almost at that $4 mark, or just hitting that $4 mark here shortly. From our entry here at 385, $4 isn't looking too bad, so I'm going to take some profits. Taking some profits, VCSA, $4. MTTR looks like it's going pretty well here. It's back up to about $7 from our entry of 688. iLeg's running again too. You could take a look at that. Get rid of FPay here because it's not doing anything. Yeah, iLeg is definitely going for it here, going from 330 to 360. So the range again is pretty decent on this. There's some room to play around here. Veru on halts does go up to 1730 and then back down to $16. If you're fast, maybe you secured some more. If you're lucky, maybe it goes back up. DRCT down, stopping out on the remainder. There it is. I don't know if I want to touch DRCT again. I mean, from 330, we might get it to 350 again. That would be good gains, but this looks like something that's going to continue to drop. So I think we leave it alone. Yeah, Veru's looking okay. I do think the volume is pretty high right now. I also think that that MACD is a little overextended, so we may be seeing this come back down here shortly. VCSA still at that $4 mark. Can't break through this resistance. This is going to be a heavy resistance area, so make sure that you're taking the appropriate amount of profits at this level because we could get rejected very hard off of this. If we break through, it might be free money up here, but if we don't, it's going to be a harsh rejection, I think. CLSK is heading down. REX not really doing much. Zella not doing much. iLeg looks like it's probably topping out. These are pretty bearish candles. We'll give it a minute. We'll see what happens here. Let's see. ARTL halted today as well, so I want to take a look at that. Did it halt? Was that today? It says, oh no, that was yesterday. I forgot to reset my scanner, so it's showing me stuff from yesterday as well. That's okay though. We got Array, Guav, ASTS. Let's see here. Maybe we look at CYCC. Get rid of Zella. CYCC. $1.50 to $1.60. Not a bad range. Overall, pretty low for the day. Now it's very, very low for the day. I'm going to jump into this as a recovery play. So we're going to go CYCC. Whoop, CYCC. We'll go for a 140-ish entry. Go for a 150 PT, and then a 137 stop. So we're going to give it just 3 cents. You don't have to get in exactly at 140. You could pick 142, 143. Looks like I'm probably going to be stopping at 140 instead. But again, we'll just have to see. MMTTR is looking decent here around 710. We did see it hit almost 715. I do think we should secure at least a little bit here. We did get in 688, so we're not doing too bad here. So we're going to secure some profits, MTTR at 715. CYCC is looking good so far. We have a decent recovery. Very good recovery back past PT. So let's go ahead and say PT. CYCC and taking some profits, leaving a runner. Want to make sure that we're securing some profits here. I mean, there still could be a decent recovery. We could see this back up to 160, which would be fantastic. But since we did get back up to 153, and that just about makes it a full 10 cents for me from where I jumped in, I can't help but secure some profits there. iLeg still looking like it's topped out. MTTR coming back down a little bit. VCSA did break through slightly here, hitting as high as 405, but it looks like it hit a harsh rejection after that, and it looks like it's going to reattempt here. On this reattempt, if it's successful, it should hold next time. Veru back up to $17, so if you continue to hold, we're looking like we're in deeper profits now. We're hitting a new high here of 1745. At 1745-ish, I'm going to make sure I secure a little bit more. Securing some more Veru 1745-ish. And then we have just a small amount left after that, so we're just going to write it out and see where it goes. VCSA is back down a little bit. The CYCC entry is 143. Veru back down to $17. DRCT is back up. Looks like we should have taken a play down here at the 330 area. It might actually make its way all the way back up to 350 here. MTTR, massive spike there. Well, I mean, considerably massive. We're just on a straight uptrend right now to 425 or 725 here. I would say 740, secure a little bit more profits. I know we're aiming for 750, but it could be a struggle to hit that $0.50 mark, and I don't really want to see anybody lose out on money. So around maybe 740, 745, you could take some more out. Maybe even a little before if you don't feel comfortable waiting that long. Veru back down a little bit here after hitting 1745. What's that bring us for gains here at 1745? 1745, we're looking at 22% on gains on that. There's MTTR at the 740 level, just touching it, so we're going to secure some profits there. Securing some more profits, MTTR 740. We're just slowly climbing up on these stocks, making sure we're playing it safe. VCSA not really doing a whole lot. Veru looking like it's getting ready to curl down, but who really knows? DRCT still struggling there, and MTTR back down to 730 currently. Yes, and CYCC, we're still in it with some. It has gone up a little bit more. We saw 154 this time. I'm still waiting on taking the rest out at probably around 160. 160 would be great. But we do want to move that up with the ones that we're actually watching and paying attention to. We're going to go through the scanner again now. We're going to take a look at everything that's popping up. That looks like it could be good. Maybe ASTS. I don't like the range on that, so we're going to skip that. Array. Yeah, range is okay at best, and price action's pretty minimal. So is volume, so we'll leave that alone. We've got Guav. Guav is looking, again, pretty slim on those profit margins. YTRA. Nope. GMDA. Price action's kind of there. We got $2.80 to $3, so 20 cents there. That's not too bad. We just need 10 cents really at this price range. We'll keep it open for now. And then we also have a couple others since iLig is, you know what, that's doing okay. So we'll leave that open for now. But we'll look at BRCC. heading up pretty high here. Decent range. Not really liking the price action. Volume did have a little bit of a cut there. Maybe we'll come back to that. PTE. Yeah, not looking great there either. EXTN is the last one. Oops, EXTN. And this one's looking a little bit better here. We've got a really good range going on. Candles are pretty big. Volatility is all over the place with that volume though, so we'll keep an eye on it, but I don't know if we're going to play it quite yet. MTTR almost hit that 740 level again. VCSA all the way up to 412. Make sure you take some more profits. Taking some more profits on VCSA, 412-ish, just to secure a little bit more on the way up. And we only have a little bit left, so we'll save that for PT, which I think was, honestly, it was so long ago we took this trade. 420? Is that what we were aiming for? Yeah, 420. 415 right there. If you didn't take it for at 412, 415 is definitely a good number to take at. Veru does look like it's turning back down. DRCT is not doing a whole lot. CYCC still struggling around that 150 mark. We do have a really solid entry here, which is what I'm liking about this, because we're way down here for that entry, so it's just looking pretty good. GMDA is looking like it's heading down a little bit. Clean Spark here looks like it might be moving up. iLeg with a nice drop down to 320. It's currently at 330. I'm not convinced it's going to hold on this 200 EMA, so I'm just going to let it go. And then we EXTN. Yeah, same thing as FPay though. Like the candles looked half decent, but it's really not moving. So I don't really want to play that. Veru at $17. Oh, got lots of them. Bingo. All right, let's take a look at Bingo. Yep. BNGO. I actually hold this long term. I think I average about $3 on it. It's 313 all the way up to 388, so we got a good range here today. Does look like it could come back down from here. I'm not really seeing too much saying it's going to keep going, especially with the pre-market looking like this, unless they release some really good news at market open. We have, I could take a look at HUT. HUT's actually not looking too bad either. I think I own this too in my long-term portfolio. 290 to 320, so we have a decent range here. Yeah, this is definitely playable. Could definitely see this coming back down to VWAP and then maybe taking a play off that. BNGO is a whole nother story as it almost reaches that $4 mark. I mean, we could try a momentum play off this. It does look like it plays by the rules, but I'm not really too familiar with playing this like short term like this. So we're gonna try 390. I'm gonna go for a 420 and then just a 380 stop. So we're just gonna give it a tight stop and we'll see what happens. Okay, 385 it is for a stop. Oops, I meant 385, not 386. There we go. All right, so we're up at 405 currently, 409, 410. Gonna go ahead and take a little bit of profits here on it. Stealing some profits on BNGO at 417-ish. We're looking pretty good here. Back on the 1 minute scale here. Take a look at things. I was kind of enjoying the 2 minute scale. I feel like it just cuts out a little bit of the noise. We'll see. I want to see what everything looks like on the 1 minutes now. Was doing a little bit of experimenting. Oh, that one was on the 1 minute. BNGO up to 417. Yeah, that's definitely halted. And we have a HUT here up at 330, looking okay. I still want this to come down to VWAP though before I end up taking a play on it. So we're gonna take a look at that in a little bit here. As far as everything else goes, Bingo's halted. We have CYCC still around that 150 mark. We have MTTR coming back up from that 290 area. Yeah, I prefer this on the 2 minute scale, to be honest. This one looks cleaner. Let's go back on the 2 minute on this one too. Yeah, that was good. There doesn't really matter. Hmm. Curious to see what Bingo and Halt's at. I'm just gonna start calling it Bingo. Yeah, we're halted up on Bingo. I am really hoping this unhalts up, but we'll see. Clean Spark here, not really doing a whole lot. I think we're just going to close that down. I can't see us playing that. We'll go through these. DRCT also not really thinking we're going to be playing it. GMDA, there's a possibility that we could possibly play it, but I'm also not really thinking so, but we'll leave it open for now. Kind of the same thing with iLeg. We're seeing a huge decrease in volume over time here, so we're just going to go ahead and close that one down. And we're waiting because it does have good volume and it does have good price action. We just want that to come back down a little bit. AVCL. MTTR, yeah, we're in MTTR currently. We still have a little bit left. Entry was 688. What was our stop on it? 675. So our stop, I don't think I ever actually put it on. There we go. It's right there. We're back up to 720. We took some profits around that. What did we take profits out on MTTR? 740. So we're looking at this, still making a recovery. This was a good dip, though. Definitely a good dip. CYCC not looking great. HUT's going back up. ABCL. ABCL is looking okay. I'm not really too much a fan of this price action. It's looking not very decided at all. So I think I'm just going to leave this one alone. And also the range on this price is pretty slim too. We're looking at like 50 cents on all of that. So at that price point, it's really not worth it. VCSA is back down a little bit here, back down to that $4 area. This was a hard resistance to break from, so it'll be a hard support to fall back through. Bingo, we're waiting on an unhalt, and Veru, we're back up to 1750 on it. Still holding on to that small runner. Our last pull was 1730 or 1740 or something. I think we had 1745. Looks like I'm averaging about 1730 right now. Yeah, I'm still thinking we might get a little bit extra out of this, but again, we're not really holding a whole lot, so it doesn't really matter too much either way. I obviously prefer more profits though, so let's get someone to pump that. BNGO still halted. We'll go MTTR all the way back up, so we're breaking into a new high here. That's definitely good news for us. Ah, crap. Just about out of coffee already. CYCC is still sitting around that 150 mark. We have GMDA. Nice spike up. Saw about 8 cents profit there. Or 8 cents gains on that. We're not in it. Still not something I'm really wanting to take a play on. HUT back up. I don't think this is going to be something making crazy new highs, so not really too worried about waiting longer to get a better entry. Veru was back up a little bit, and we're still waiting for Bingo. Anytime now it'll unhalt. VCSA did fall through that support area a little bit. MTTR back down after hitting that new high of 745. Veru looking like it does want to contest that high there of 1780. Looking like it might actually get up there. So we did see up to 417 on BNGO, unhalted back down. So hopefully you secured some profits. If you didn't, I don't think I don't really know what's going to happen with this one. It looks like it could really go either way. It is going to run into the stopper just about there. If it stops here, I'd be really amazed. Nope. All right. So we're stopping out on the runner that we had. But the good news is we might be able to get this back in VWAP for another run. Or maybe it'll stop 1 cent down from my stop sign. Or from my stop line. Not stop sign. Looks like a decent place to buy in. I'm just not really seeing much support until we hit 375. So I'd like to maybe buy in at 375. I think I'm gonna put out the alert. BNGO 375. We're gonna try for $4, and then a 365 stop. We'll say a tentative play, because we need to see where this is going before we actually commit to it. 376. We're just about there at that entry. Does look like it's kicking up a little bit, but that MACD is still dropping. We still have a lot of selling going on. Kind of hard to say where this is going to go. Let's keep an eye on it. Veru contesting that new high and breaking into that $18 mark. I'm okay with selling at 18, and we'll just have to look for a re-entry to get another full position on it. Selling the last of Veru at 18-ish. We will look for a re-entry. Let's see, where is that? Okay, so BNGO's down a little bit further here, 1370. Where's that? We got 1360 there, so 13 or 355, not 13. I don't know why I'm saying 13. So we're going to be taking this entry at 370. Entry on BNGO 370 with the 355 SL. Giving it a little bit of extra room because we do need that. If you can get in lower than 370, by all means, you could make that stop even a little bit lower. Although I just was aiming to try and get this below that VWAP. 370 is where I can make that happen. Now I want to see a nice textbook curl up from here. Maybe take off to new highs. That would be nice. So Veru touched that $18 mark twice. Looks like it's going to come back down. Might look for a re-entry around $17. I don't know, though, because this is still pretty high up from that VWAP, so we'll have to wait and see. BNGO looking good. VCSA did drop down quite a bit here to 386. That could have been a good re-entry position right at that low. I think I do want to try and take a play around that number, so we're going to go VCSA 386-ish. We're going to go for a 410 PT and then a 3... Let's go to the same stop, 380, because I really don't want to see it go lower than 380. And 6 cents is really nothing for a stop. So you can move that stop, or you could get in higher and leave that 380 stop as long as you're not going past, I don't know, maybe 12 cents for a stop. That would be the most I'd be willing to risk. Okay. Let's see. CYCC does look like it's curling up, so we're still holding on to that position here, and it's looking pretty good. Bingo is looking pretty good as well. We can get rid of that because that's just the old stop line. Looking decent. I do think this could probably make it back up to $4 pretty easily. 390, maybe we could take some profit. It's only 10 cents, but at 390 it'll be 20 cents. Sorry, not 10 cents. So we could try and take some profits at 390. And we'll see from there. VCSA up quite a bit here. MTTR still struggling, but we did break that new high, and it's still looking good. So I'm still going to hold on to this runner. We'll see what happens with it. CYCC making its way up. HUT hasn't fallen too much yet, so I think we're still kind of waiting on this. Not seeing anything new popping up on the scanner. Oh, there's KTTA. That's what we're missing from last time. KTTA looks like it's just heading straight down though, so we didn't miss out on a whole lot there. Did see high there, 153 again on CYCC. VCSA up to $4 basically from our entry around 386. $4, you could probably think about taking some profits. Let's take a look at me. It's looking okay. Again, I'm seeing pretty slim price action. Volume's pretty consistent, so that's good. What kind of volume are we playing with here? Okay, we're in the 100,000, so that's not too bad. The range, $4.50 to $5.50 is not bad. Yeah, it's okay. I think this is another one I kind of have to wait and see if we have a pullback on to jump into, but if it does pull back, there's definitely a possibility of jumping in on that. BNGO down a little bit here, back to 370, so hopefully that's if you were waiting on your re-entry, this is probably around where you'd want to take it. We're gonna see if whoa, type something wrong there. We're gonna see if this bounces off VWAP or not. Veru down past $17. We have BNGO hitting that VWAP line. VCSA struggling to pass $4. I think $4 gonna take some profits on it, just to secure some. $4 VCSA. Not a lot of profit again, about 12 cents there. So nothing major. KTTA is just heading down, so we can close that down again. We don't really need to look at that. Me heading up. Hut looks like it might be curling up from here, but we're right at that zero line with MACD, so that kind of worries me. All right, bingo. Let's see some action here. What's my bingo entry? 368. I'm not really going to give it much room with that because I'd still prefer to only have, 10 cents or less for a stop. As far as VCSA goes, we're back to $4. We're still hunkering around that $4 mark, which is good. We have got Veru dropping down. This could be a good area to buy into around 1660. Again, I'm really not sure. I think we could still bounce off that VWAP, so I kind of want to wait and see. And we're still waiting on bingo here to see if it's going to fall through or not. The MACD is falling through, so this is usually a sign to exit when you see that MACD falling through and you're also right at VWAP. But you know what? We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Looks decent to me. It looks like it might actually bounce. So MACD did fall through though, so I don't know. A lot of mixed signals happening here. We'll see. CYCC back down a little bit. Me up a couple more cents. Hut, yeah, curl up is happening, but it's really slow. Yeah, really not a lot of playroom in this small area. We're looking at 320 to 330, so we're looking at 10 cents in that small area, and I really don't think that's going to make much of much profits for us. So I think I'm just going to leave that be. We do, however, have WRBY popping up, so take a look at WRBY. Yeah, again, not really a fan of that range, so I don't think we're going to play that. Let me take a look at FPay again. No, FPay went real spotty. Definitely a good thing we didn't touch that. All right. DNA we could take a look at. We'll get rid of this. Yeah, DNA looking pretty decent here. We went from 320 at the start all the way to 440 basically. Looks like it's halted right now, so we'll have to wait for an unhalt and see what happens. If it starts climbing after the unhalt, we'll jump in pretty quickly. VCSA still struggling to break through that $4 mark. Bingo not really giving up here, but not really moving up either. We have that bottom band curling in, which is a good sign. Long ways to go before it saves us, though. We'll move that up there. What's ES doing? ES made some good moves up after its drop this morning. Come on, bingo. MTTR down at $7. Looks like it doesn't really want to give up this level. I would say that if you're looking to see somewhere where you'd want to exit, if you're worried about averaging down on it too hard or like losing profits from cutting too late, I would say if it breaks down from like maybe 690 to cut it, you don't really have to wait till 675. At 690, you'd still be at break even, so it's always an option. All right, so we have DNA here unhalted. Looking kind of iffy. I think I do want to try it though. I'm gonna give it a quick scalp here. DNA. 435, we're going to aim for 450 and then a 425 stop out. So we're just going to give it 10 cents, maybe 15 if you have to. We do have a good chance of just being cut out here, but we did hit that 450 mark really quickly there. So PT DNA taking some profits and leaving a chunk to run. We will see. We'll see what happens here. Maybe we hit higher. All right. 458. Not bad. I think it's still probably going to shoot up a little bit higher, so obviously we're just going to hold for a little while. We do have Bingo actually curling up here, which is good to see. We're just seeing that zero line on MACD again. We have a big increase in volume, so all good signs. It looks like it's going to head back up here. We're almost at 380. Our Bingo entry is 368. We could take a little bit of profits here if we want to. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Securing some profits on BNGO 380-ish. 384. All right, looking good there. VCSA still $4. Veru back up to 17. Did bounce off pretty close to that VWAP. And we have DNA at 464. Up pretty high. It looks like we might be in another halt here. So it looks like we're going to be waiting for an unhalt on this one again. We'll be ready to take some more profits when it does. MTT are not really doing a whole lot. Looks like BNGO and DNA are stealing most of the volume here. VCSA still $4. Almost at 390 on Bingo. I think we're aiming for 4 on Bingo for the PT there. So hopefully we do actually wake our way up there and hit it. 390 is not a bad place to take profits if you didn't secure earlier, or even if you did, maybe you want to secure a little bit more. Other than that, we're going to be waiting for $4 here, which should happen fairly quickly, given the amount of volume we're picking up in and that MACD curling up. 395 almost. There's 395. 397, just below $4 now. $4, huge psychological barrier. So if you want to, you can take profits a couple cents early just to secure it before it hits that $4 mark, or in case it doesn't. Secure more profits. BNGO around 4 and leaving a runner for past that. All right, so we might hit $4 here. Would you believe me if I said VCSA is still at $4? Does it look like on the 1 minute, no volume at all? No, it's got volume. It's just really having a hard time breaking through that. We've hit this and stumbled on it quite a few times. Bands are pretty tight, so I don't think we're worried about stopping out on this. But it's not going anywhere. BNGO does hit PT, so that is PT BNGO. Looks like it is going to push past it a little bit as well. So we basically got the exact bottom on this, and we're pushing it all the way back up now. Looking good there. DNA still halted. Veru back up a little bit. BNGO 408, almost 410 here. I think we're gonna hit a pullback here. So taking the profits around 410, definitely a good move. If you don't take profits here, I mean, you do risk giving a lot of it back, but I mean, I would say it's probably going to come back down to about 380 and then look for another go. So we might be lucky in that way. Might get a whole re-entry there. CYCC does look like it's just slowly breaking down with less and less volume. So if you're still in CYCC, I'd be looking to take your exit on the remaining shares. DNA is still up pretty high here, 464. Waiting on that unhalt. Any day now. Bingo 405 again. VCSA still $4. This has got to be the most boring stock in this $4 range that I've seen in a long time. You should see some decent movement out of this, not 2-3 cents for, the past 5 or 6 minutes or 10 minutes or something. All right. Come on, DNA. Bingo almost up to 410 again, so candles are looking a lot less full here, looking like a lot more hesitation. We still have buyers pushing it up a little bit. Definitely a wall of sellers up there around that 412, 415 mark. Me all the way up to 540 though. This thing has just been like a slow rolling, crawling stock that just won't stop. DRCT, I'll take a look at DRCT again. Why not? Yeah, nothing in here is making me want to play that. VCSA is looking the same way. MTTR is not doing much. Bingo up at 416 here. Looks like it might hit 420. If it hits 420, it could definitely secure some more and then look for a re-entry. We're hitting 420, so I guess that's what we're doing. Securing some more profits. BNGO 430 and looking for a re-entry. Definitely got a lot higher on BNGO than I was intending to. It's looking good though. We did break into a new high of the day. This could really just take off, but I'm okay with where I'm at with profits on this. I think we've secured quite a bit going from 368 all the way, literally the bottom here. I think the bottom was 365, all the way up to 434. Let's see. $368 to 368 to 434. Yeah. 17%, just under 18%. I don't know why I was having trouble with that. If that's too many, I don't really think that there's too many times to scale out. I think everybody's got different thresholds. How many times have I scaled out of BNGO? I think this is my third time. And that was my last little bit of it, so we're looking for a re-entry on it. But I don't think there's necessarily too many times. Like, just securing profits on the way up is good. You could have consistent intervals if you wanted to. Like, you could say every 2% you scale out another, like 20% of the trade or something, so that, you work your way up. And then you could have a trailing stop loss on it if you wanted to, so that if it does retrace back down, it stops you on the rest of it. There's lots of ways you can do it. I don't really have like a set way in stone because it kind of depends on how the stock's looking to me. Like sometimes, like BNGO wasn't looking great when it was down here, but the second we started seeing these big candles, it was looking better. There's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of volume in it. So I was like, okay, you know what? We might see quite a bit of movement out of this. So then you start scaling out a little bit less and leaving a little bit more in the trade. And then when you hit something like, okay, well, we just hit a new high a day here and we hit 430. I think there's definitely going to be more resistance here. I could see those sellers of the wall building and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, well, I could take less out now and leave a small runner, but at this point, it looked too risky to even want to do that. I didn't see enough value in holding anything any higher than 430-ish, so I ended up taking the rest out, and looks like it's going well for me because it's heading back down now. Hopefully to take a re-entry close to VWAP here and maybe like scale it back in. Does that minimize total profits on with such small shares? Does that minimize? Well, if you're scaling out percentage wise, it should be the same for pretty much everybody, right? But if you're scaling out like a set amount of shares per trade, like if you're buying 50 shares and you're scale, well, no, that's still a percentage then. It's hard to say. No, you're not. I think what you're saying is like, does it hurt your profits if you start scaling out? Yes, it does kind of hurt your profits because it obviously drags your average down, but yes, it also does minimize that risk by quite a bit. So like in the bear markets, for instance, for anyone who was around during that, I didn't do scaling out. I was in and then I was out. And when I was out, I was usually up like 20, 30, 40% in the trade. Whereas now, DNA unhalted, by the way, back down. But we did hit a high there of 490. Whereas now, with being in a bear market, and you can't really always tell how high something's going to go, and when it does go, it usually doesn't go that far. It's better to use the scaling out method because you start to secure profits earlier. So I mean, there's plenty of times where we hit the first one and I scale out like 70%, then we hit stop, and it's a small win. But that small win would have been a loss if I was using the old strategy. So that's why we had to switch it up. Me's at 570. This thing is literally going straight up. Exactly, 1% is better than 3. And yeah, that's like, it's all over my trade tracker, like trades that are only 1% up or 1.5% or, stuff like that. So yeah, it really depends on the stock and the scenario and, how well you do in it and how the day's going and how that specific stock is looking at the time and where your resistance lines are. Like if you're hitting strong resistance, it's always good to take profits at those levels. With something like this, if we had jumped in, my first gala would probably be up when I'm up like 3%. And then it makes you kind of feel more comfortable because you don't have so much in the trade. And if it does come back down to your stop out, it's not like it's going to make you go negative in the trade. It just like ends up break even or a little bit better. So it's not that bad. Yeah, volume is definitely a predictor of how long I let it run. It's not linear though. Like there's not saying, okay, well, volume's up 30%, so I'm going to continue to let it run. It really depends, right? Because if we go back to bingo, for instance, we saw low volume, we saw building volume here, but at some point we're going to run out of buyers. We see that this is all buyers. So at some point, people are not going to have money to buy into this, and it's going to have to go into sellers territory, right? There's going to be more sellers than buyers, and that's going to push the price back down. So, like volume's a good predictor of how long I'll let it run, but it really depends how that volume's looking. If we're seeing like crazy numbers of volume increasing, and we're going up in price, that can be a really good thing, but it can also mean it's going to come back down on us pretty fast. So you have to be careful with that as well. It's not always as simple as volume going up, so I'm going to hold. And BNGO looks like it's a perfect example of that. We had ramping up volume, and then it went down. Am I still in CYCC? No, I exited CYCC. And I will look at ZY here. ZY 320 to a high there of 430. So definitely good range on this. Volume's picked up pretty recently here. This is looking like actually a really good opportunity right now to jump in. So I think I actually want to do that. ZY 385-ish, might get a little lower. We're going to go for 410, maybe 420. And we'll go for a 375 stop. So we're just going to give it 10 cents again. Because that brings us up to, well, that actually brought us up a lot closer to VWAP than I wanted to, but that's okay. We get slightly lower entry, then that kind of pans out, but don't know if we will. I'm personally just going to buy in and see what happens, but you might want to wait. DNA is halted down, Veru's back down, Bingo's still heading down. We're getting close to that VWAP, which is the area I wanted to buy back into around 380. So we're going to have to wait for that and see what happens there. Me's up at $6. I think we were talking about this, like the stock at $5.10, and it's literally just gone straight up. VCSA finally did pop up. You're not wrong there. Thank God, because that was getting painful to watch. I kind of want to take profits at 410 and just call it on this stock because that was super painful. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to secure the rest of it now because I didn't realize we only had 3 minutes left. I don't want to manage open positions while I'm trading futures. Closing out VCSA 408. Not bad. Could have been better. I was really hoping that we were going to hit a little higher on that, but you know what? Going from, what did we get in on that at? 388 to 408 is not bad. Gonna hold this Z. Oh, never mind. We're already past our stop on that. Yeah, that didn't work at all. But you know what? That actually works a little bit better in my favor because I didn't want to have open positions and I didn't see I only had 2 minutes left. So besides that, DNA, hopefully you closed that out while we were up in the 390s or 490s area because that DNA trade went from 435 to 480 or something. It's back down now anyway, so if you're still holding, you're hitting stop. Veru was some good trades. I think it's done though. I think DNA still has potential. Bingo still has potential of VWAP. VCSA, I mean, if you're a patient person, you might be able to get some profits off that. MTTR, not looking good. So if you're still holding, definitely cut it. I wouldn't really suggest that one. CYCC, I think this one has a little bit of potential to it, but we would wait to see some more volume before jumping into something like that. Me's just a freight train of profits here as it's just continuing to jump up. So you could definitely try and scalp Me here. There's really no set rules in stone for something like this, especially when the candles are small like this and it's just continually climbing. It's just kind of get in, secure profits early and let the rest run. DRCT is not worth playing. ZY could be worth playing. It's kind of hard to say. You'd have to pick good levels to buy on. I mean, buying around VWAP or down here and then putting your stop a little bit lower. You might find that you hit a textbook curl up here pretty quick. So yeah, I'm out of CYCC in full. But yeah, I don't know about ZY in general. It's just something that popped up, so not too sure if it's going to be worth playing. But definitely, Me, VCSA, Bingo, and DNA all are looking kind of decent. Besides that, we'll go through this quickly here. So we secured $4,000 for the day. That brings us up to 12,000. We're on the 11th today. Okay, we got plenty of time. I'm sure we'll hit that 50K mark. Oops, didn't mean to do that. We are holding a 70% win rate. I think today was pretty good. Yeah, we only took two losses on that. The rest we secured profits early enough to stay in the green on them. Besides that, we go to trade history. We're up 82% today. Both our losses were the exact same too. That's weird. 2.6% on 2 losses, 1 VCSA and 1 ZY. The rest of them have been decent winners. We saw 124%, which was good. That was that Veru trade. And then we saw the 14% on Bingo. I think it actually went up to 19% or 20%, but after scaling out, it was only 14. So there you go. That's your answer. I lost about 5% by scaling out on that one instead of, waiting for the full amount. But on the flip side of that, we would have had probably twice as many losses, if not 3 times as many, simply just by waiting for the full thing to hit. Because I know a couple of these smaller trades, like this 2.9 and this probably this 2.7, I think we scaled out on those and got stopped out on the rest. Yeah, DRCT twice. Yeah, DRCT was just a terrible stock to play today. We should have just stopped playing that. But besides that, yeah, the rest of the day looks pretty good. We're up to $12,000 and we'll pick this back up tomorrow. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be off for the day. So would you ever consider leaving your data entry page visible? I don't care about the data entry page. I think it's the same thing. If you hang on, I got to pull it down to the same screen. So if you guys go to, I think it's trade detail. Yeah, trade detail is the same thing as the data entry. Then you can look at this and it copies exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, it's live updated, so it happens every couple, I don't know if it's every couple seconds or not. Usually by the time I type something in data entry and then I go back to this page, it's already updated. So it's pretty much live updating. Yeah, it's the same thing. I think this is just invisible because I don't know, maybe you guys could type in it or something. I'm really not sure. I'm not too proficient with Excel. That's all KSOS. So all I know is that the trade detail page shows you all the details of it and it happens pretty much real time. So that's where you'd want to be looking for that kind of stuff. But other than that, guys, I'm going to hop off. Hopefully you guys made some money today and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Take care, guys.